Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another edition of the South Fairfax Chamber of Commerce's webinar series. We want to thank everybody for showing up. Today we have a very special presentation. We have a winner at the Workhouse presentation, and it's going to be a wonderful, wonderful day. We have our wonderful presenter here, Elena Romanova, who is the Chief Development Officer at the Workhouse Arts Foundation. And the Workhouse Arts Foundation is a South Fairfax Chamber of Commerce member. And but they're also a staple in the community. I mean, they are just that emotion, that drive, that love, that passion that is just part of the community, because that helps break the routine and the monotony of the day-to-day lives. So Elena, thank you so much for showing up today. We are so happy to have you here and be able to showcase the Workhouse.
Thank you, Casey, and thank you, everyone. Hello, fellow members, and I bring you greetings from all our board members and staff. I am really pleased to bring a little bit of a holiday season during the year that we all needed, and art spirit, and talk a little bit about what's happened at the Workhouse to lift everybody's spirits up.
And we love that. We're definitely excited to hear more about that. But you know, I think because this is not only for the board members, it's for the community alike, and just for everybody's awareness, this will be recorded and be put out for the public to view later on. And you know what, Elena, we have some people that might be looking at it. Maybe they're thinking about the Lorton area. And I think they would love to hear a brief background on the Workhouse Arts. So if you don't mind, tell us about the Workhouse Arts background and history.
Sure. For anybody who doesn't know us, and I'm sure many of you, of course, know the history, but just to refresh everybody's history, we are a former DC correctional facility, and we're sort of the intersection of arts and history. So for 91 years, the Workhouse was a prison, and opened, of course, during the reform era, so that it was an idyllic environment where the prisoners would work and the fresh air, and they ran farm and did various activities through the years. Of course, the prison at the end of it was overcrowded. It became violent, and eventually it closed. So the Fairfax County and lots of community members got together, and they really thought, it's a beautiful campus. For those of you who have just driven by, which I hear still quite a lot, that I've been driving by this place for 10 years, what's inside? This is a great opportunity for us really to tell you a little bit more about what's inside. But again, of course, the rich history that we've had here that also included the imprisonment of the suffragists, which really brought attention to the women's voting rights issue. And the centennial of it was this year. It was in August, and we celebrated prior and continued to celebrate through the year, because especially this year, it was truly important to remind that, there is equality, there is justice, and the Workhouse played a very important role in the national movement for women to gain rights to vote. But in 2002, the Fairfax County bought the land and converted it into a multidisciplinary arts center. We are the only multidisciplinary arts center in Fairfax County and also in Prince William County. So, which that really means that we offer all type of art activities, from art classes to exhibitions to resident artist studios to performances. And of course, we're very much known for beloved community events, especially pre-pandemic, such as fireworks. But we carried on, and there is Haunted Trail, there's Brewfest. This year, together with the Chamber, we actually came up with the idea to establish the community market, which allowed people to continue to do their business in a safe manner. in a beautiful campus, and sometimes it was even accompanied by musical performances. So, so this is in a nutshell a reminder that there is a great history here, and the museum devoted to that. And there are lots of art activities for students of all ages and all walks of life.
Absolutely. And I can tell you, I am a huge fan of the fireworks festival. I love it. And it was very surprising the very first time I went to one to see the community support with it. And all the other things that have kind of come into fruition. You guys definitely do a wonderful job, and like I said, feeding that passion for everybody to kind of get out there and grow their inner self. So, but at this point, let's kind of talk about like the pre-pandemic events. You guys were able to kind of get put off before the shutdown. Um,
Sure. The year was, of course, a great start. None of us knew in January when we rang in the new year what to expect. And we planned a great year ahead, and we started with a bang, as they say. So, as I alluded earlier to our history, the biggest achievement of the Workhouse this year was the opening of the Lucy Burns Museum. We opened in January 2020 in preparation, of course, for the 100th anniversary. And the museum was always on site in a different building, in Building 9. However, it was done really by the efforts mostly of docents who collected documentation and storytelling, and did lots and lots and lots of research in archives. And with private investment and donor support, the Workhouse was able to open a professional, state-of-the-art Lucy Burns Museum in January 2020. So it is celebrating, of course, and telling the story, rather, of 91 years of being in a prison, which included various activities here that you would be surprised. And I keep continuously hearing very interesting stories, of who was in this prison, such as Chuck Brown, for example, the father of go-go music. But again, as I mentioned earlier, the suffragists too, who were in prison actually across the street from us, but that site is no longer existing because it was a women's prison. It was a wooden structure, and so the Workhouse is considered the site of telling that national story. So we had great dignitaries here, and we absolutely have been put on the map with the story of the museum, because it has been circulated now nationally, and we have had lots of visitors since we opened, even though we'll get to this later. We had to temporarily suspend our activities. Of course, we were doing our classes, which include every single art discipline. We had a great theater season planned, and we were just about to open a new play and go into wonderful spring season. But we hosted right before everything happened our beloved art event, which is called Collect, where our artists participate and donate a piece of artwork. And when you come to an event, to this particular event, you are able to walk away with more than one piece of artwork if your lottery skills are really good, and if you buy lots and lots of raffle tickets. But we always do it thematic, and so I want to mention this for the reason that I want you to think about it when you hear about it again, because this year we did sort of the Woodstock style, and people love dressing up for this event and coming to celebrate art. And that certainly, of course, supports then other activities at the Workhouse that we offer for free to the public.
Absolutely, and bringing awareness to everybody, because it really is, um, it's an unknown gem within Lorton sometimes. I mean, there's quite a few folks that know and appreciate the value that Workhouse brings to the community, but then there really is. It's very surprising. There's sometimes I'll ask somebody. I was like, have you been to the Workhouse lately? And they're like, where's that at? And I'm like, oh my goodness. And that's one of the reasons why we wanted to make sure that on the chamber side that we see the value and what the Workhouse brings to the community. So I'm so happy that we're able to do this today. Now, as far as the whole COVID thing, you mentioned we talked about the pandemic and whatnot, and COVID taking place. You know, when everything hit in March, like so many other places, the workhouse was forced to kind of close the doors a bit. I mean, how long were you actually closed? And if you can talk a little bit about the safety measures that are currently in place to help protect people, because we want people to feel comfortable joining in on the wonderful things to offer at the workhouse.
Sure, Casey. Thank you for asking that, because it's certainly an important part of this conversation for all of us to continue deliver what we also have always known, and the pandemic has proven that arts are critical to the nourishment of our soul. They distract us, and they're very important in the time of crisis. We've had unprecedented community engagement since temporarily closing in March. I remember walking out of the office on March 13th and coming back the next day to put up signs that will be temporarily closed, thinking, we would be a couple of weeks at the most, and picking up my own kids from daycare, wondering how on earth would I survive for 2 weeks with them at home. Little did we all know that shortly the governor of Virginia would issue the stay-at-home order, and we remained closed until June 10th. We all knew it's for the best. However, we've pivoted from day one, and we'll talk about those activities, because we knew that we had to deliver our mission continuously, not just stop and kind of wait for and see what happens and when we're able to open again, but what it is that we could do virtually in the meantime to keep our community engaged, happy, and distracted. And in the meantime, of course, we were designing our safety measures and thinking, once we open and follow and closely following phase 1 and phase 2 and subsequently phase 3 guidelines of the governor, we designed our own policies as well. Part of it included, of course, even before the masks were a mandate for indoors, it was clear to us that we would require the use of masks indoors if we were to be open. We have a great population of artists who works on campus, so this is their place of business, and so they would be coming here on a regular basis, and they continued coming and working during closure. But certainly, especially as we opened to public, we acquired additional PPE, e-supplies, and installed sanitizers throughout, plastic coverings at our front desk and other points of merchandise sales or points of interaction. And unfortunately, reduce the hours of operation, but so that the public could benefit the most, so that we open our doors so folks could come and see our exhibits, etc., in the museum Friday through Sunday, 12 to 5. That also means that we had to limit the class sizes, and with instructor and sometimes, another helper, that certainly is somewhat of a limitation, plus social distancing in place, but it has worked, and we are just so pleased that everything has been safe, because what also it allowed us to do later on in the summer, as we went through the season and learned our lessons, to open up youth camps, which, as we all know from either personal experience or talking to others, that this has been challenging for adults, but for children, it has been almost impossible. And so the Workhouse really dedicated resources and efforts to open the camps, and the community response was great, as you can even see in the slide. We were wondering how the kids would handle masks before even it became, more widespread use of masks, and they did well. And we relied, of course, then also on a lot of events and activities taken outdoors as well, because it has been safer.
Outstanding. Well, I commend you all on your adaptability and innovation, and really that kind of take charge attitude of understanding the circumstances and and really keeping the safety and well-being of the public at heart. And not only the public, but also the artists. I mean, I could tell you for one, I already know I've seen some of those works of art that are over there, and there is no way that's coming out of my brain. So you definitely need to make sure you keep those artists safe, so they can continue to do the wonderful pieces that they do. Um, but you also mentioned the stuff that, yeah, some of the things that you did during the summertime. You know, I'm going to tell you that the pandemic was it definitely hit a lot of folks pretty hard. But once again, I commend you guys on your adaptability, and you know, tell us a little bit about that innovation again on what you were doing. You know, specifically those events on there.
Sure. I mean, obviously, we did lots of virtual things while we could not open. That included Friday nights cabarets, theater quizzes. We did lots of gallery talks, and we digitized our exhibits. But as we were preparing to open, we knew we needed to do something different, something big. We also knew that we had space. And so came the idea of the drive-in movies. We were definitely the first in the region. Winchester has always been there, but that's a little further away. And before they started popping up here and there, we opened right at the end of June. And we were still drafting our e-blast to our followers to let them know that tickets are available. In the meantime, we did an announcement on Facebook, and before I could finish the e-blast, the tickets were sold out. We'd never seen anything like that. And of course, it was very important for the Arts Center to have this. However, what we didn't expect is the testimonials that we received from the attendees, because they said, I haven't been able to get out of the house. I have autoimmune deficiency, and this is the only thing that I can do, with my family. And people kept coming and coming. And so I did the helicopters from Channel 4, which scared us on our first weekend because we were not quite sure what was going on, if there was an emergency. But the news coverage was outstanding, and it's important for us, not because what we did, but because we want to showcase that there is the Workhouse Art Center in Lorton, but Lorton is not far away, and we're doing incredible things here. As I mentioned here as well, the community market that approached the chamber early on was a weekly opportunity for local vendors, local businesses to pitch a tent. And we measured the quad every single weekend, did social distancing, did marking. And while we originally thought it would be more like farmers market, we realized that we had to work with all our partners and all of those who've supported us and say, you know what, if you want to advertise your business here, that's totally great with us. And again, another unexpected testimonials that came from it was that, you saved my business and you saved my mental health, being able to get out. It also helped our artists with sales and with ability to kind of have that safe interaction with public, which sometimes also inspires you to create and be appreciated for what you do. Of course, we continued, as I mentioned, with classes and with camps. And then our traditional Haunted Trail event went through almost being prepared for an event that would be a traditional walkthrough event, but we realized it's still not safe, even though it's outdoors, even though we always did, a dozen people at a time for a trail, it still wasn't safe. And so our creative team came up with this idea to do it at drive-through. And it didn't quite break the internet as much as the drive-in movies did, but it was a sold-out event for most of the weekends. The important part here, I think, to know is that Haunted Trail is the extension of our performing arts. And so we involve many young actors, light technicians, stage managers in the work so that they can practice their trade. And especially we did so this year. Previously, it was mostly on volunteer basis, but we were able to compensate the young actors and stage technicians, stage managers who were working with us. If you didn't go through this, I highly recommend it. It's entertaining, and we followed with a kiddie drive-through also for the Halloween event, where I was working the gate, and parents and children alike were driving in cars in their costumes through the scenes, and candy was passed to them through 8 feet. We did even higher than recommended 6 feet. PVC tubes, and it was definitely the highlight for many of our community members and beyond during this season.
Well, I can tell you, being the scaredy cat that I am, I know social distancing is the 6 feet, but I think it was the right call, because I probably would have gotten scared, run backward the other ways, or the other way. I don't know, wherever my mind would have said safety, and then would have broken that 6 feet rule. So I think it was the right call to adapt it to the drive-through thing. But once again, I mean, I really commend you guys on that innovation and thinking outside the box. And you brought up a great point. And I, for one, really never connected that, but you're absolutely right. Everybody loves movies. Well, those movies come from the theater, and you brought up a great point. The haunted drive-through really incorporated the theater aspect of the arts in that creativity process. As far as just getting, like you said, the lights, the sounds, all that good stuff squared away, that really kind of get you in the moment. So that's
And the
awesome.
makeup and the costuming. And so
Yeah.
obviously, with all of these events that just like everybody else, we're learning as well to create unique aspects to all of this and drive educational opportunities, teaching the makeup class, for example, or, how to put your costume together, etc., is going to be something that we will be doing going forward as well.
Wonderful. Well, and once again, I think you guys have done a phenomenal job in kind of staying up to the top of the moment guidelines, innovation, and just adapting to really still get that feel for the community, and get folks engaged with the Workhouse. Let's go ahead and talk about a couple of points on over the what you guys are doing as far as a couple of programs that you've shared with us, and if you don't mind, just kind of give us a couple of thoughts on each one, just so we can kind of get the community to understand the wide range of things that you guys have going on.
Sure. And we invite everybody here as long as they feel safe to participate in any programs, because again, part of our mission is to deliver some of the programs, free of charge. And we do that quite a bit within the programs as well, not just exhibitions, but traditionally Art of Movement, for example, is a program that offers during the holidays free classes because it's healthy and it's beneficial, and it's our gift to the community. So you would be able to check online for our Art of Movement events during winter time. There are Pilates, there's row fit, there's bar, there's gentle yoga. I've seen some Tai Chi, but there's a great variety of classes, and it's one of our popular programs because we really believe, our approach to the arts is that, all art forms, everything is an art form, including obviously movement, dance, etc. So those are the events that are still going on. Some of them take place outdoors when weather permitting, and some of them in studios with distancing, the guidelines, and individual sessions as well. The other thing that, of course, we have is exhibitions that are open to public. Again, to remind you, the hours right now are Friday through Sunday, 12 to noon, and our second floor of McGuire Woods in Building 16 is just open on Saturdays only, but nonetheless, it should allow everyone to have time to come visit it. Downstairs in Building 16 and what is known as Balkan Galleries, right now we have an exhibit called Colors of Fall, which is a collection of various works of art by our own artists interpreting the colors of fall. So it could be ceramics, it could be glass, it could be fabrics, and of course paintings. And it is here on view until January, I believe January 11th. So you're welcome to come and visit that. A beautiful exhibit that we have, and Casey, you can move through the couple of slides as we're talking about these programs. So this is the Colors of Fall that I was just talking about. That gives you just a little bit of a preview. The next exhibit is The Right to Vote, which is also in view still through January, and I highly encourage you to come and see it. While this is the exhibit by our own artist, Julie Jikevich, it is highly political, emotional, and kind of humorous at the same time. But there's a large works of art, and so you aren't able usually to see them all together. While Julie has a studio on campus, it certainly is not exhibited, and it's it's very interesting and caustic wax paintings, sometimes emotional, whimsical at the same time. Again, those are free of charge and are open to the public through January 11th. So if you're looking for something to do during holidays, think about that. For those of you who don't feel so safe going and venturing out, we are continuing to offer exhibits online as well. And Glass National, which is usually an exhibit that we have in person, we've moved it online this year for various reasons, but it is beautiful. In fact, if you haven't been to the Glass House at the Workhouse, it is always incredible. There is something about the glass, the colors, and the light that streams through those historic windows that makes it just absolutely stunning. And I was not going to make a sales pitch here, but it is a good place to do your holiday shopping. So forgive me for going, of course, but as many of our artists' buildings as well. One other thing that people might not know about the Workhouse is that we have the culinary arts programs, and it is going on in person and online, and it's continuing to be popular. In fact, we even offer date nights. Right now they are socially distant, but they are happening and people have been taking advantage. So you cook and you see your significant other or your friends and enjoy that. So be on the lookout of special classes that happen here, as well as, think about Mardi Gras as we kind of get our post-holiday blues. I promise you that we will carry you through January and February with some excitement. So just think about us, and we will work hard to deliver. One advertisement that I even saw yesterday that made me a little hungry: the online class of Thai curry and fried rice is happening, and that just sounded kind of perfect right now. But we will also have some holiday bacon and cookies and decorating the gingerbread house. So lots to see and lots to do. And of course, our visual arts education activities are continuing to happen. We fully recognize that, many aspiring artists, our students, want to do art classes in person. And some of them are happening, but we're also delivering them online as well, because there is a percentage of the population that certainly wants to still participate. And so there is a wide variety of classes, from making hard making out of paper and monograms and mandala, to sort of in person, offering people really want to paint in person as well, learn, or of course, work on the ceramic pieces or glass pieces. So those classes, fingers crossed, are continuing, albeit in small numbers. I'll kind of pause here, Casey, to make sure that there are no questions.
I don't see any questions just yet, but I'm going to tell you, I think that's just because you guys, you're sharing so much wonderful information. Everybody's so engaged on it. I mean, you've been so thorough on the opportunities that are available at the workhouse. So I
Thank you.
definitely
Well,
appreciate
and
that.
of course, then not to forget, our performing arts events. We are looking into a couple of cool things that might come January and February, such as mystery shows and other interactive performances. So that it's not just things that you would find on YouTube, but things that might kind of be like happening in real life. So plus the winter classes and camps are happening. So this is the first time we were able to do camps throughout fall, and we certainly went into the December now, because again, we know kids need it. We have the space, we're following our protocols, and we're truly hopeful that this is healing for everybody who needs it, which brings
Well,
me to the next point, which is our Workhouse Military in the Arts Initiative. This is one of truly unique programs, right? Because mental health is still a stigma for everyone, let alone sometimes, for folks who've served in the military. This program offers various services, not just to the military members and veterans, but also to their families and caregivers. So in other words, even kids could receive tuition assistance to participate in camps and classes. But we have very popular veteran open studios that happen every Saturday here in Building 16, and then various beginner classes and individual art therapy sessions with our art therapist. So especially now, again, during the time of crisis, this program stands out as delivering important services that are very much needed.
absolutely.
And
And
go ahead.
oh, I was just going to say, with us being so close to Fort Belvoir and Quantico and whatnot, I would highly encourage those that are attending and those that are watching this afterwards, share that. I mean, I don't. It's just like how we mentioned earlier that some folks are not aware of where the workhouse is, but also I don't think that they realize how developed you guys are at helping the community. And we certainly encourage those to actually share that with friends. I mean, there's going to be people that just could really benefit from this, but just don't really know it's there. So please,
Please
for
help
those
us
that,
spread
yeah,
the word. We're
yeah,
here for the community. This is what we want to do. This is what inspires us. This is what drives us to do better and bigger, and allows us to dream bigger. So spread the word. We talked a little bit about Lucy Burns Museum, so I won't go into much detail, but to let you know that it is open Saturdays, 12 to 5. There are docent-led tours every Saturday, and the museum is truly breathtaking, and the stories that it tells. Like on the slide, you briefly see the suffragists right now. But the cell block is also open for visitors, and it was tremendous work of many dedicated community members. So please come and visit it.
it looks gorgeous and very well done.
Thank you. And we are pleased to receive, you're among the first ones to know, we haven't even officially unveiled it, although it is on view now, but we have been in partnership with the Women's Suffrage Centennial Commission, which was in operation for a couple of years to celebrate this momentous occasion throughout the nation. So the various points of the partnership included drive-in series. By the way, we did on Thursdays in August called Bold Women in History. We did Forward into the Light campaign when our campus was lit up with orange and purple in honor of the suffragists, and that was part of our first light. And finally, we received this beautiful suffrage mural on a permanent loan, which was specifically commissioned by the Centennial Commission. And it is now here at the Workhouse and Building 16 on the first floor, available for view. Obviously, as you see, it is stunning as a work of art. It was done by the I think, I'm sorry, there's a mistake. It's actually a Nashville-based artist, Sunny Malarkey. But equality for all, it's certainly a message that resonates, I think, this year with many. So this is what's happening in the Workhouse.
Outstanding. Well, I mean, once again, the Workhouse, synonymous with community, but also synonymous with history. So there's so many milestones that um, were that took place at the Workhouse. So I mean, if you're looking for stuff to do, there's definitely stuff out there. All it takes is for you to hop in your car, keep a safe distance, and as the screen says, get involved. um, so, I know you guys had the Winterfest and holiday market. You want to touch base on that if you don't mind?
Sure. We were so excited to make our community market into this little European market with lots of other events. But as we all watched the numbers and things given, we realized that it probably was not the best community service that we could do to encourage people to come and gather in person here. So we adjusted, and we will offer some of the fun activities. In fact, the Snowflake Contest right now is getting great popularity. So the kids are submitting their designs. There will be prizes, there will be winners. The snowflakes will be displayed on our Christmas tree here in Building 16, and we will hopefully take it outside December 12th, weather permitting, just for view. But kids are doing art, and it's community event. We will also have the side-wide sale, 20% off all artwork and everything else. So great opportunity to shop. We might have other surprises in store.
Well, I definitely know you guys were deeply saddened by not having that same engagement, that one-on-one, in-person getting engagement with the community. Uh, you know, uh, there was an excitement there to kind of rekindle that thing, that fire that you guys established for the summer times. But winter being indoors and things being the way they are at the moment. I know you guys definitely adapted accordingly, but I am confident you guys have some very fun things still planned for winter on top of the Snowflake Contest and whatnot. Can you tell us about this stuff, which are holiday themed? Come on.
Of course, as I mentioned, especially culinary experiences, we're all humans, right? So our holidays often are associated with food. So we are offering our in-person on December 12th decorated gingerbread house and sip hot cocoa workshop. It's a one-day workshop for families, again, socially distant with all protocols in place. And for those who really like to do it from home, cookies for the minis, we want cookies. So it will be on Zoom, but I heard that the instruction is very engaging.
Wonderful.
And
Elena,
like I mentioned, yeah, go ahead.
I was going to ask you, so where can people sign up for that? That's a great question.
Everything's available on our website, always under classes. And I also highly encourage to sign up for our newsletter. It comes out now every Tuesday with all the activities that are happening during the upcoming week or month, depending on the type of the activity, and certainly on our social media. We have lots of subscribers, but we could always spread the word of mouth even more. I think it works. Just as Casey said, earlier in this presentation, you often drive by the Workhouse, you see the beautiful campus, but until you come in here and open a door to an art studio or see an exhibit, you're not realizing the vibrancy and the reaction you would have to everything that happens here. So I certainly encourage you to come here in person in the winter when you're comfortable, and then going into the spring and summer.
Absolutely. No, it truly is awe-inspiring to all the great things that are there. I had the liberty of going to a couple of different places and the pleasure of seeing just so many different insights. I mean, it's just amazing. Even just walking by in the quad, you can look through and you can see all the artists at work. It's a great way to just get out and see what's there and just take a quick walk. Okay,
And many of
and then
our artists
plan
would
your
be
next
on
trip.
site. The following protocols on December 12th, and it's also they let in a certain number of people in, and or you may make an appointment even if you really wanted to come back and chat with someone.
Wonderful. And we touch base on the winter youth camp, so I'm definitely thinking that parents would enjoy a welcome change of pace, knowing their kids are going to be safe and well taken care of. So, uh, I mean, that's
As
once
you can
again, you can
see
get that
again, right
online,
in the
right?
slide, folks are painting, they're making films, they're working the ceramics. So creativity is abound here.
Well, you mentioned volunteers. So tell us about, because I know Workhouse has an amazing volunteer program.
Just as any nonprofit in the United States, we rely on the support of our community in many, many ways. There's just, not even 24 of us who are employees here. So with the number of programs that we've just gone over with, of course, we wouldn't be able to carry that out without the help of our volunteers. And those opportunities range from volunteering at events and doing it safely, if it's a drive-in, for example, or of course later in the year, to working with us on website development, marketing, administrative duties, helping our theater program, etc. So we welcome everybody who has a skill set that they would like to offer. I believe we will find a fit if there is a will. So join the Workhouse now, virtually or otherwise in person, and we will find those opportunities.
Oh my, Elena, I want to thank you for everything, but do you hear what I hear?
I'm kind of like hearing jingle bells. Could it
Holy
be?
smokes. I think we might have a visitor here. Hello, Santa?
Well,
Holy,
hello there,
wow.
Nancy. It's good to see you.
Oh my goodness, Santa. I can't
Merry
believe you showed
Christmas.
up. Look, 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 look. I have my reindeer sweater.
Hey,
I,
I love the reindeer.
I'm so excited to see you, Santa. Wow, you took your time out to come visit us. I am thrilled and so happy to see you.
I have been watching a little bit of the of Elena's presentation, and I'm just so impressed about what's going on at the workhouse. And this time of the year, it's just such a wonderful time of the year, and there's magic in the air, and it's a time of giving, and it's just so good to see how they're giving back to the community. So I'm just really impressed with all the work that's going on there.
And I'm
Thank you,
going to tell you,
Santa.
that means a lot for me too, because that's coming from Santa. Elena, kudos, bravo. So, so Santa, I'm really so helpful that or thankful that you stopped by today. I'm sorry, I'm tongue tied. I'm just completely enamored by seeing Santa Claus. So, we were talking a few moments ago about how COVID and everything and how that's kind of impacted it. I'm curious, how are you and Mrs. Claus and the elves been during this whole process?
We've all been really good. The North Pole's a little bit far away, and we don't get a whole lot of visitors. So a little safer than a lot of the places where you have so many people around. But we've been working hard to make sure that the elves and everybody, keep their, clean their hands and wear their mask and keep the distance when they're around. And so things at the North Pole have been very good, and we're getting ready for Christmas.
Wow. No, and that's cool. I kind of think that you guys wouldn't have as many visitors, it being up in the North Pole and whatnot. But
I and I don't get out as much as I used to. you don't maybe don't see me around as much because, yeah, it's trying to keep everybody safe. That's the number one priority. And so we're trying to make sure that everybody stays safe. So I'm not out and about as much as I normally am, but we're keeping an eye on folks, and I'm keeping my eye on you, Casey, making sure that you're on that nice list.
I'm trying, Santa. I promise you, I'm keeping my best, and I'm staying on that nice list, okay? But
And you
I,
too, Elena, and everybody else out there.
now there is one question that I am confident kids want to know, okay? Uh, are you still going to be able to deliver all the toys this year?
I think I mentioned a little bit earlier about the magic of Christmas. Christmas time and Christmas Eve is such a magical time, and that magic will protect us all. So while Santa's traveling around the world, the magic of Christmas will make sure that that virus does not go along with us, and that we keep that I stay safe, and that the elves stay safe, and that my reindeer stay safe, and most importantly, that all the boys and girls around the world stay safe also. So don't have to worry about Santa getting around on Christmas Eve. It's all good. We'll be safe. Just the magic of Christmas and such a wonderful time of the year.
Yay, I love that. That is awesome. Well, Santa, I heard through the grapevine that the magic at the workhouse, being the Lorton Winter Wonderland and whatnot. Uh, I heard Atlanta mention there might be some Santa sightings. Atlanta, do you want to talk about that real quick?
Yeah, I kind of heard too, like, we had this secret note somebody delivered, and they said, like, maybe on the 12th, because we had to cancel the Winterfest, maybe Santa will kind of show up here and there. So if you're out and about, be on the lookout. I heard something like noon to 4, maybe around the neighborhoods even. So I believe in magic, and so I hope all of you do. I know Santa does.
Well, we will see what we can do. I
That
know it's a very busy time of the year for everybody, and we are really, really busy up here at the North Pole, but doing what we can to get out and make sure that we spread the Christmas joy and love and just the gift of giving to everybody.
Well, you stay
outstanding.
safe.
I'll do that.
Yes. Santa, thank you so much for coming today. And I'm so happy. Oh, you know what? I think we might have had a couple of kids show up. Is there? And I'll throw this out there. I'll see if there's any of the kids that are on here that maybe want to ask Santa Claus a question.
Sure. I'd love to talk to them.
And with your parents' permission, just come off of mute and just ask if you want. Now, they might be a little shy.
So Casey, what do you want for Christmas?
What do I want for Christmas? I want a toy train. No. Actually, you know what? I want what I think everybody else wants. Just the safety and well-being. Happy memories to be made by everyone. I think you hit it right on the point, Santa. I mean, Christmas time, winters, it's all a magical time, and it's really important for people to remember that yes, Santa Claus is watching you, making sure you're naughty or nice, but also that's a time to spend time with family and make lasting memories. So I want to have at least 5 lasting memories that I can take with me to the 2021 and help keep us enduring.
Okay, well, I'll see what I can do, but you're responsible for most of those memories, and just hopefully you get out there and share the spirit with everybody.
Absolutely. Well,
And
once
what
again,
about Elena?
huh?
And what about Elena? What would she like for Christmas?
World peace.
I can only do so much. There's a workshop. We make toys and things like that. I would love to be able to promise that, and that is my daily prayer. But
I'm with
hopefully
Casey.
it'll.
Health for all and well-being and happy memories. I think, this is what we've all learned so far.
And
That's
I know
what matters.
it is, and I know this has been a most unusual year, 2020, but I think we can almost all look back, and there have been some good things that have happened. I know, I look around and I see babies being born, and I see people having fun, and I see moms and dads out with their kids walking on the streets. I know that school is difficult and it's different, but the kids are just so amazing and how they adapt and adjust. So we have been so blessed, and I am just so thankful. And I look forward to coming around. And I know that some of them are trying to be, it's important to try to get on that nice list. I know we all have trouble sometime. And Casey, I know you have struggles with
I
that, but as
know.
long as you're trying, that's the important thing. So.
I've got a big heart, Santa. I promise you that. Okay.
What is it?
Awesome. Well, once again, I really want to thank everyone for showing up today. You know, Elena, you shared a lot of wonderful information. Santa, you brought an extra level of magic to not only to the workhouse, but to everybody here. And Elena, thank you for being that guiding light, feeding that passion and that love for the this, like feeding the soul for the community. Okay.
And
At the
thank you for
workhouse.
inviting us. Of course, I would be remiss if I did not say that arts depend on community support. So we are in the middle of our year-end giving campaign. You can always go to our website and make a donation and tell others, because we will return the favor in robust arts programming and community engagement. So thank you really for inviting me. Again, I deliver all the greetings from our board members and my fellow colleagues here at the Workhouse. And we are here ready to greet you.
Absolutely. Santa, any last words for the kids?
Just a Merry Christmas to you all. Be safe. I look forward to seeing everybody. Enjoy the holiday spirit and share that love that you have with all of those that are around you. Merry Christmas to all.
Santa, can you say "and all a good night," please?
Merry Christmas to all, and to all a good night.
Oh, that's so yay! All right. Sorry, I'm getting back. Sorry, I'm excited.
Is that one memory for you there?
That's one memory down. Thank you, Santa. I got 4 more to go. So once again, we want to thank everybody that's attended here, attended the meeting today, that's watching this later on. It's if you want to stay up to date on everything that's going on, definitely follow us on the South Fairfax Chamber of Commerce website. You can see us. We're on all the different platforms out there for you. But what we try to do is bring value to the community, not just the businesses, but also the community alike, because I think it's a great partnership that we all have within one another. So please join us in 2021 for new webinars and events. Until then, happy holidays, happy new year. Sincerely, the South Fairfax Chamber of Commerce. Merry Christmas, and we really appreciate you guys. Okay, thank you.
Thank you so much,
Thanks.
everybody.
Thanks. Good job.